Hello again. So I'm here today to do another requested video for a lovely one of my commenters who is a life path 5 with an expression 9. This video has been done right now for you, but it's also for anyone else that is a life path 5 and an expression 9. Now, I always start my videos by showing you the importance of these two numbers. These are the top two numbers in your core. They constitute 70% of of the influence of you in this lifetime. So these are two very important numbers. The most important being that life path. So for you as a life path 5, this is the key number for you to really focus on, because this is your purpose for this lifetime. This is what you're here to develop towards, to get better at, to transcend. So all the other numbers, including this expression 9, exists merely to serve this life path and help to develop the elements of the life path 5. The expression number 5 is the talent that you brought with you to help you along the journey of achieving each element of your life path 5. Now, the expression 9 is a very, very high level energy with lots of varied skills. You know, you're very much a jack of all trades. And when I see the life path 5, who is very varied in their thinking and very adventurous and very looking in every single direction, I see, whenever I see the 5 and 9 together, I think adaptability. I think a jack of all trades. I think somebody that can turn their hand to anything, especially somebody that is a life path 5 who is looking into every angle all the time, very scattered, doesn't focus on one thing totally, but likes to see everything. And then the expression number 9 that has all the abilities of the numbers within it, from 1 to 9, within 1 to 9. So you have varied abilities in the expression number 9. There's nothing you can't turn your mind to, and your mind is turning your mind to everything, because that's what your life path 5 is. So when I see the 5 and 9 together, I see quite a lot of chaos. I see a very scattered but very adaptable mind who can turn their mind to anything. You're good in high pressure, fast situations. These two energies together. However, when you're a life path 5, you are here to focus that energy into something that makes you a specialist rather than the generalist that I see before me when I look at these two numbers. So the life path 5 needs to learn focused discipline that leads to mastery, that leads to then eventually freedom for them. When a 5 can focus on one topic to the exclusion of all others and study it through to the detail, past the boredom of the detail, down to the brass tacks of the subject, to really become a specialist in one subject rather than a generalist of many things. Now, no one's asking you to lose your adventurous side. You're still fearless, adventurous, and that's what you're here to still be, to still be able to look around you and be adaptable, but also and deal well with change, but also to be able to focus on one thing and create freedom for yourself so that you can be more adventurous with your life. You can make choices to be more adventurous because you've attained freedom via discipline. These two words are very, very linked, discipline and freedom. And discipline, when we think of the word, it's really much about working very hard. It's sometimes about doing what you don't actually want to do. And we very much associate freedom with doing what we want. But what we want might be freedom of action, but will it really bring us long-term freedom? If I say I will eat burgers and nothing else all my life because that's what I want to do, will that eventually bring me freedom? Or will it bring me illness, which will take away my freedom? So what I'm trying to say is We don't always know what's best for us to bring us our own freedom. Sometimes we walk into our own slavery by doing what we want and not considering what could happen in the future. So what I'm saying, the Life Path 5 is here to focus with discipline towards mastery, which will bring them towards freedom, and then be able to communicate that mastery to the masses, to develop excellent communication skills, charismatic communication skills, to the point where people listen. And again, I'm not asking you to lose, you still must develop that adventurous and fearless experience and keep that ability to be adaptable and deal with change, but also to balance that with some focus and some discipline, which will eventually lead to your freedom. This is what you're here to work towards. Now, this isn't going to be something that is easy for you. You may struggle with discipline. You're going to struggle to focus on one thing. You may be scattered, you may be forgetful, you may say you're going to do things for others and then not do it, but not because you're lazy as such. It's more that you're so focused on other things, or your brain just goes off into other subjects that you just completely forget what you've said before. The talents you have in your expression number 5 is you have that added connection, that added intuitive wisdom and source energy. The 9 energy is very all-encompassing of all the numbers. So the skills of the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6, the 7, the 8, and of course the 9 are all in there. So you can turn your hand to anything. So wherever you decide or choose to focus on for your Life Path 5, whatever you choose to learn to mastery, you have the potential in the expression 9 because you have all those skills. Where you're going to struggle is being able to choose where to focus that mastery, because you are such a jack of all trades and you have so many interests. It's going to be a difficulty for you and may take time for you to focus on one specialism, simply because you can do it all and you might have a multiple interest in it all. But with the expression 9, you have the added ability in your connection with spirit. And this connection with spirit helps you to have ethics and integrity and to do the right thing. You're talented at promoting the well-being of others. And you use your verbal ability, which you have in a charismatic verbal ability, which will help your Life Path 5, which people really listen to. And your way of life is also an influence on others. Your life is your teaching. You are an influencer and a teacher, and that is your talent. So the communication skills that you need to develop in the 5 is going to be easier for you to deal with. But really, on a big picture level, it's going to be being able to focus on that specialism. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to split the Life Path 5 into elements, and I'm going to put the abilities, your abilities in the expression number 9 next to it, and to see where the expression number aids you and helps you deal with this element of your life path, and where you need to maybe put in a bit more work because it may be not something that comes naturally straight away. Remember, you always have the potential to develop these abilities or they wouldn't be your life path. So just because it's not in your expression number does not mean that you do not have the potential to achieve it. It just might be that little bit more difficult. You might have to make some different changes, or to maybe train yourself to think in a different way, or meditate more, whatever it is that you need to do. It's just something that might be a little bit more difficult, but not unachievable. So you're easily bored. Okay, when you're a Life Path 5, you're easily bored and you want to study loads of topics. You know, your brain is here, there and everywhere. You're very adventurous. You like to travel. You like to meet new people, see new things. Everything is on the surface. You want breadth, breadth of experience and knowledge, and rather than, but you're not so great with the depth of experience, you know. But for a Life Path 5, that initial varied experience is often a good thing when used to help you choose your path. When you're scattered and you do loads of things and you're not really focusing on what is something you should specialize in, then that's something you need to develop towards. So the 5 needs to focus on thinking, what is my specialism? I can do a lot of things. I'm interested in a lot of things. But what is my top passion? Where could I focus myself past the point of boredom and become a specialist in that subject? Because you're here to learn to be more disciplined and focused, to continue with a topic or an activity beyond that point of boredom, beyond the detail, towards that mastery, towards people seeing you as a top mind in that field. And that's what brings you your freedom. And your 9 energy, as I said right at the beginning, provides you with varied abilities because you're a mix of all the numbers. You know, your life path 5 enhances this variability and ability to be multi-skilled and turn your hand to anything, the jack of all trades. And you will certainly vary your experience very much so because you're a very varied, adaptable person. But your varied interests and your varied abilities, it is going to make it a lot more difficult for you to settle on that single discipline, which is what I harped on about at the beginning. So it's important that you take some time, if you haven't already, to support your life path 5 by meditating, walking in nature, doing whatever it is, listening to music, whatever it is that takes you down into that relaxation state. And ask your intuition to help you focus those skills a lot more deeply, to help you to choose which specialism to go for and to dig yourself deeper and fight past times where you're getting a bit bored of the detail. Keep plugging on, keep studying, keep learning more and more about your chosen subject. Look for depth rather than breadth. Find your passion and be the expert. This is what you need to do to help you achieve your life path 5. It's not going to be easy because, as I said, you're very scattered, very adaptable, very multi-talented. There's not any one overarching talent apart from communication skills that I would really say. You can turn your hand to anything. So you can do this. You know, you have the potential to do this. Find your passion and be the expert. Most important of all the elements that I'm going to speak about to you today. But you're also here to develop the ability, important also, to balance variety and change and adventure and looking at all your options, which you need to do before you can choose. You know, you can't choose a sweetie without looking at all the sweeties in the jar. So you're here to develop an ability to balance that need for variety, change and adventure, to be able to pick and choose from the sweetie jar with skill. You know, so be able to focus, look at what you have in front of you, and choose something and create stability. Focus on something towards mastery, build something, put foundations to something and build stability. Build stability in your family and home life so that you're not so scattered and up in the air all the time. If you can balance those abilities, it's going to help you achieve your life path 5 and therefore enhance your life also. Because you can be, as a 5, totally spontaneous, which sometimes is good, but not always, and take risks, but not always calculated risks in the 5 energy. Jumping from one experience to another, as I've said before, never settling, never progressing. But this is something you need to work towards. Progress by using focus and discipline. Your 9 talent energy makes you a strong risk taker. So it's going to enhance your 5, your life path risk taking side. And you're an adventure seeker, the same as the 5. So again, your scattered nature and wanting to see everything is enhanced by the expression or talent number 9, to the point where you can sometimes carelessly injure yourself, others, or make decisions that can hurt others emotionally or yourself. You know, you can take risks that really you haven't thought through. And your life path 5 suggests that you might tip a little bit far towards those careless risks. So this is something you really need to think about on a deep level. You know, careless risks, scattered multitasking, never really finishing or perfecting anything or focusing yourself down on one thing. However, those varied abilities mean that you can be both a multitasker and focused. So all you've got to do is take all this varied ability you have and create a balance where you can be a multitasker and a looker at the options and be adaptable when you need to be, but be focused and disciplined also when you need to be. To use that skill to be so balanced that you can go to each end of the of the polarity whenever you want to. This is the skill you're developing in the 5. So to support your life path 5, tip the balance a little bit further, work towards developing that focus, tipping the balance towards having more focus. This is going to be something you're going to work towards. It might not be something you can achieve in a day, a week, or even a month. It's something you're going to work towards. Focus more on one passion. Focus every day on trying to find that passion, and then when you found it, study it deeply. Create that stable base for that subject so that you can build on it and create something that is going to bring you stability and freedom of choice, which is what freedom is really all about. Being healthy and being able to make choices without worry about anything else. Okay, so focus more on your passion, create that stability, make some firm, committed decisions, act on them and progress past them. Assess the risks that you take. You know, I'm not saying don't take risks. You need to take risks to progress, right? But have more intuition with that. You've got the ability in the 9 to really access your intuition so that, you know, when you have a risk to take, ask your intuition if this is a good risk to take. You know, your intuition will never let you down. Assess the risks you take and be selective and protect the stability that you have to help you achieve your life path 5. Excuse me. You're here to develop also and attain inner freedom and outer freedom by doing things you might not want to do. Remember what I said at the beginning, where sometimes we really don't know whether what we want is what we want at the time isn't necessarily freedom, because what we doing what we want to do can often take us towards slavery, imprisonment, either through breaking the law or not looking after our health and making our body our prison, because our body can't do what it used to because we haven't looked after it. But we've done what we wanted to do. You've been free and I've done what I wanted. However, in the long term, has that brought you freedom? Actually, it's probably wrapped you up tighter in those chains. So you're here to develop the ability to attain inner freedom, outer freedom by doing things you might not want to do, by linking discipline with freedom. Doing what you want is not necessarily freedom. As I keep on saying, you can be a slave to your desires and your body can give out, and you can be a slave to your body not doing what you want it to anymore. Or you can be a slave to the system if you don't follow the system's rules. Freedom and discipline, as I keep saying, are very, very inherently linked. But your life path 5 suggests that you may destroy your own freedom. You know, that's where your difficulty is, by choosing items, choosing actions that ultimately you think is a manifestation of your freedom, but it actually limits your freedom. Your 9 talent energy means that you are strong-minded. You're quite stubborn, but you do, as well as being strong-minded and stubborn, you do rely on the opinions of others, which is likely to help you to be that little bit more disciplined, because, you know, disappointment from others is going to be something you're going to pick up. And it might, you know, this sort of mindfulness of others is going to help you along the way. Now, I'm not asking you to seek validation from others. You know, we don't want to tip the other way and put everybody's opinion in front of our own. But the 9 needs to look at not just relying on the opinions of others, but taking the opinions of others into account, but accessing their intuition as the final decision maker. Now, at your best for the expression 9, you're extremely ethical, full of integrity. Your choices are full of integrity and looking after the well-being of others, full of common sense, an intention to help others, to promote their wellness. However, when you're at your very worst as an expression number 9, you do have the potential to be the opposite of that, to be unethical, to actually mislead others for your own gain, like, say, a con man who makes out that they're helping you but actually steals your life savings. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not I'm not calling you a thief or somebody that is a criminal. I'm saying that is the 9 at its very worst, because the 9 at its very best is extremely ethical. Okay, and when 9 is your expression number, you're more likely to be showing the more higher vibrational elements, the abilities of the expression 9, less so the struggles of the expression 9. The struggles still exist, but you have more ability to show the positive when you use your expression 9 properly. So support that life path 5 by choosing and ensuring that you are ethical and disciplined in your actions. See that word discipline again. Make decisions that will ultimately lead you and everyone around you to freedom, not illness, disability, or even imprisonment, but freedom of choice and happiness. You're also here to learn to develop your verbal and written communication skills. The 5 needs to communicate their specialism with the world. They really do need to communicate their specialism, their knowledge, their deep knowledge to a wide range of people. So they need to develop that ability when they're a life path 5. Verbal, written, and communication skills, so that they become charismatic, so that people listen to their ideas and relate to their specialism. You know, you have the potential in the 5 to be a great communicator. This may be a struggle at first, but you have an expression number 9, which makes me feel that this is going to be an easier element for you to achieve, because your expression number 9 provides you the ability to be an exceptionally good and charismatic communicator, especially verbally. People listen to and hang on your every word when you're communicating at your best, when you're full of confidence and you're full of belief in what you're expressing to those around you. Your inner confidence radiates out of you, which is called charisma, and people listen to you to the point where your life is your teaching and other people look to you for guidance. And this is an amazing ability for you to have, that people will listen to you and you can teach them and guide them. So support that life path 5 by communicating your way of life to others, your spiritual knowledge and your wisdom and your intuition, and encourage them to use their intuitive wisdom to improve their own lives. But know when to step back and let them walk their path. The 9 can be a bit of a fixer at times because of the amount of knowledge and ability you have. But remember, that person has a life path to walk to and they must learn their own lessons. So encourage others to use their own wisdom and intuition so that you can step back and let them walk their path. You're not here to fix their life for them. You're here to help them help themselves. Very important for you to understand. You're also here to learn to be committed, to be dependable. And remember, you're quite scattered and unfocused and interested in everything. So this is going to be another difficulty because it's your life path 5. You're here to learn to be committed to one thing, more dependable, to remember more things, to focus your mind more, to do what you say you're going to do. And you, as I've said, you're quite forgetful. You can forget what you promise because you're so quite chaotic, scattered, very changeable, but also very adaptable, always looking for the next new person, the new experience, but never really going into anything with any commitment or depth to the point where you can be dependable to others. But your 9 talent energy can balance that tendency to be uncommitted, as at your best, you're committed to the promoting the well-being of others. So when you're using your 9 ability at your best, you're going to focus on a subject that promotes others' well-being. So this is going to help you to commit, hopefully, to a subject that is linked to the well-being of others. But You can also be on the other polarity of the 5, because the 5 has 2 polarities. You can be hyper focused to the point where it's unhealthy, or you can be hyper scattered where nothing's achieved. And sometimes the life pace rarer. This is a rarer difficulty, but sometimes the 5 can tip to the other polarity and be so committed and so dependable. And with that 9 energy as well, you can be that fixer, meddling too much, controlling others' lives, and therefore disrespecting their path. And this is re-ascertaining really on the previous slide, that we must know when to step back and not be too focused and obsessed with the lives of others. That's their path to walk. Okay, but this is less of a tendency in the life path 5, but it is still the other side of that polarity. So support your life path 5 by being tipping towards dependable, having that balance, and committing to what you promise, especially if it's linked to your specialism, especially if it's linked to that passion, that commitment that you want to make. Committing to what you promise, but also having time and balancing your own adventurous experience. It's a balancing act, you know, without getting too involved in other people's lives. Okay, so there's a lot of things you need to do here. You might need to watch this video again, or take notes on what I'm saying to you, because some of this is quite difficult stuff. It's very much about balancing, helping others, but not tipping too far over. Being committed and dependable in a very balanced way that is very linked to your passions and very linked to the specialism that you are here, to the discipline that you are here to achieve. You're here to develop your social skills and your charisma, to have the potential to be fun-loving, to draw people in with your optimism and with your fun-loving nature. The 5 can be very full of energy and a bit uptight and argumentative, but you're here to expand the information to the world. So it comes with the need to develop the ability to connect with others on quite a wide but also deep way, so that you can share your specialism with the world. And the 5 might struggle to do that, especially in their early life and maybe into adulthood, maybe their whole life. They're always going to be struggling to develop that charisma and social skills that they need to be able to communicate their message to the world. However, it's going to be a little bit easier when you have an expression number 9, because the expression number 9 is the master charismatic communicator of wisdom. Everybody listens to a 9. You have excellent social skills, very charismatic and confident, talkative. You love to laugh. You're very fun-loving. And you're very protective of others. You want to look after others, and you look out for other people. However, you don't suffer fools gladly, and you can and you will argue a point aggressively if you think you are right. So to support your life path 5, use your charismatic social communication skills that you have in the 9 in a balanced way to teach, heal and help, so that you're improving the well-being of others, which is what your talent can do. And it will help achieve your life path 5, which, remember, is your main thing in this lifetime. Developing those social skills, that charisma, being able to spread your message to others effectively and charismatically, so that people remember and learn and listen. And then your message is communicated. When people remember and listen and learn, you have communicated your specialism to the world, and this can only help you attain the freedom that you desire. You're also here to be consistent in your independence. The 5 is the risk taker and can swing from independence and cluttering off to dependence and having nothing and needing you to put them up and give them a bed for the night. Swinging from independence to dependence and back again, because you're taking risks, making decisions that aren't necessarily for your long-term good, which is what the 5 often does. Risky behavior, get rich quick schemes, because you're very much the entrepreneur, or you like to be the entrepreneur. But your 9 talent energy is going to help you again here, because you won't cope well by being in any way dependent. Okay, the 9 energy is fiercely independent and strong-minded and powerful. You make your own decisions in this lifetime. I mean, you can rely on the opinions of others a bit too much, but you make your own decisions and you can act independently, and you will not follow the crowd. You know, you're a risk taker, but you have a great deal of intuitive wisdom that will aid you to make calculated, smart um, decisions, take smart, calculated risks, so that you're not always losing all the time and going from millionaire to pauper in a day. You know, your fierce independence in the 9 hopefully will balance your tendency in the 5 to swing towards dependence. But fierce independence, which is what the 9 is, you know, prone to, your 9 talent, because you're so strong-minded, it could blind you to your own needs because you're so powerful and you're the advisor, you're the fixer. So asking other people to help you is something that you're going to struggle with. You know, you're going to fail to ask for help when you need it and try and soldier on your own, which isn't for your own well-being. You've got to look after yourself too. So support that life path 5 by manifesting your independence, but also realizing that we are all interdependent. Other people can help you too. Remember, we are all connected. When one person is hurt, we are all hurt. When you help one person, you help everyone, including yourself. We are all interconnected. We help others. We receive help from others. You need to develop that balanced interdependence so you don't take risks to the point where you end up becoming dependent on others, or be so fiercely independent that you won't even you know, spend your life with anyone else or commit to anything to any deep level or build relationships. You know, you want to find that balance of the two to help you achieve your life path 5 and your ultimate happiness and peace in life. So manifest your independence by taking calculated risks, using your intuition, not doing things that are definitely or very likely to put you in a position where you are dependent, but also realizing that sometimes we do need to ask for help. It's about balance again. Be independent, but also allow yourself to be dependent. But don't always be dependent. Work towards being independent. Have a balance of the two, because we are all interconnected and we all need to receive and give help, like the flow of energy, baby. So you're here to learn to be fearless as well. You know, 5s can be quite scared at times, and they need to develop towards being more confident and fearless and help others to be more fearless in their actions. You know, it is like you're here to break your comfort zone so wide or smash it open to the point where it's like you don't have a comfort zone, and you need to develop that ability in yourself and challenge others past their own comfort zone, so that people are fearful of taking the next step. You're going to be the one that courageously takes that step and then takes the hand of the person behind you and supports them as they take their next step fearlessly. That's what you're here to achieve. Now, you might be quite fearful because you are a life path 5. However, when you have a talent number in the 9, you're much more brave. You know, you're much more courageous. The 9 is more powerful, willing to take risks, but more intuitive, calculated risks. You have the ability to influence others. You're a very confident number, and you're a very brave expression, number 9. So support that life path 5 by challenging that comfort zone in healthy ways that promote your well-being and the well-being of those around you. So challenge your comfort zones, but don't get to the point where you're injuring or hurting yourself. Look outside the box and stretch that comfort zone. Okay? But do it in a healthy way so others can follow you in a healthy way, which can only lead to their well-being and yours. Okay? Your life is your teaching, so others will follow your fearless but healthy example. Okay, remember, you're powerful. People look to you. It's really, really, really important that you do it in a very positive and ethical way so that you lead others towards well-being, not destruction. Okay, you need to learn to make use of your 5 energy and drive that can be very scattered and looking in every direction and wanting to do everything and do every activity and look in every direction, and when you put someone that's so full of energy and wanting to look everywhere and achieve and experience everything like the life path 5 can be, you can feel really restricted and underconfident and be restless if you're in a restrictive environment, and you're going to be restless like a hamster stuck in a small box trying to get out, bang, 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 bang. And this energy is going to burst out of you inappropriately, and you can end up being quite the drama queen at times because you have all this pent up energy and drive to do something, to progress, that is held under this underconfident or restrictive situation. And that energy will not stay pent up for long. And if necessary, if it's not allowed to come out in effective ways in your lifetime, it will burst out of you in the most inconvenient ways, and in times at the most inconvenient times. Use your energy for experience and adventure. Be courageous. Look at new things, learn new things, focus, choose a specialism, focus that energy down onto something that is going to bring you long-term freedom. Use that energy for discipline, for exploration, and eventually discipline into something that is going to bring you the freedom that you desire and need to achieve in the 5. Now, I hope you found my video really useful today. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so, because I'm always uploading new videos. And you can, of course, request videos. If I haven't done a video on your life path and expression or life path and soul urge, you can ask me to do videos for you in the comment boxes of my videos, or you can send me an email. You can also learn numerology. I've got a course on Udemy. God, I can't speak today. And that link's going to be in the description box. So if you'd like to learn numerology and be more of a practitioner of numerology, click on that link in the description box, and my course is there for you to do. And it will give you a good firm basis in numerology so that you can start practicing it on yourself and other people. Also, if you'd like to request a reading from me of all your core numbers and all your and other numbers around the outside and your pinnacles, and look at your life purpose and the direction that you need to go in, please email me, or contact me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or Twitter. The links are in the description box below. As ever, guys, I want you to trust the soul within you. Your intuition is the most important thing for you to trust and follow. It's the basis of every decision that you make, and it's the basis of your confidence. Always follow that intuition. See you soon.